So there's the circle, neighbor's house. It does drop off a little bit back down there as far as the elevation goes, but it's not much that you can tell in the backyard. Single car garage, something of a fence over here on this side of the house. If you trimmed all those bushes back, you could probably make a driveway pass through down there. Just to show you, behind that little shed there's the corner post of the property right there. It's a big ass backyard and it's got great views of the mountains and it's relatively flat. I'm not sure where you're seeing all those ATV trails or whatever. I'll walk all the way back there in a minute, but this is huge. I mean, it goes, and it looks like there's a pretty good sized chain link fence along the back property line. Kind of a crappy fence there. All the stucco is painted. The windows have been replaced for the most part, except for that one. They didn't replace that one. That's a Stamm window right there. Canales need some help. That garage door is there, but it's not a garage anymore. A couple of trees and a bunch of overgrown bushes. A little bit of rot showing right there. All the rest, it looks pretty intact. The only problem is it's all these windows. A lot of them, the seals have broken, which kind of sucks. It kind of means that they almost have to be replaced again in a sense. But it does have these territorial style kind of, what do we call those things? Really pretty typical Stamm on the inside, more or less. Gorgeous wood floors. I would say they probably need to be refinished. Like kind of over by there, the fireplace, you can sort of see where there's original finish is a little bit more pronounced. But here's an example of this window. All those seals are broken. So it could be that you could repair the windows without replacing them. I just don't know. We're having the same problem with our windows right now too. They're only 15 years old and all the seals are breaking. Now we're getting condensation in between. And so what do? Do you replace the glass? Do you have to reseal it or just do a whole new window? So dining room, pretty typical hallway down to the three bedrooms. That is a pretty decent French door going out to the back patio there. The floors changed in the kitchen, which has definitely been updated, but it's still kind of dated, even though it's been updated. These are like maybe Korean countertops or something. Not terrible cabinets, but these are definitely not the original cabinets. Smallish refrigerator, older microwave, electric. They might be an induction actually. But the nice thing is it is actually vented. You don't see that very often. Kind of a crappy sink. Probably needs to be updated. And then they took this countertop all the way in to this, I'll call it a bonus room, but it really used to just be the garage. With these kind of light maple floors. I think they're actual wood. Could be laminate. The walls, definitely you could use a paint job. They did kind of a crappy job finishing this off when they replaced the window. That window is actually decent. Seal's not broken in that one. Window coverings are old. Again, just some patch jobs here on the walls. There's a few cracks that I noticed, but nothing that was too scary looking. Stackable washer and dryer. A little bit older models. And then you got a hot water heater in here. A little bit on the smaller side. It's probably not even 40 gallons, maybe less. God, could that be less? It looks decent. You could probably get away with using that for a while. We got another window here. This window looks okay. No seals are broken on that window. That fan's got to go. It's looking a little sad. Yeah, there's some new light fixtures everywhere. Pretty much would seal the deal. That's some actually pretty nice wallpaper, honestly. I mean, if you decided to keep that, it would really keep the character of the house intact. But this is pretty typical setup down here. We've got a decent size coat closet here, because you don't have a coat closet by the entry. Old ass alarm system. Bathroom 1, which is blue. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is definitely original. Blue and pink. I mean, this is something that you almost have to just leave and not touch, you know? That's how cool it is. And honestly, it's in really good shape. So I guess I'm only really half kidding. Whoops, there's a piece of tile missing right there. But the blue and pink combo is just, you know, it's kind of hard to beat. Just don't really see that much anymore. And this is cool. And it still works and everything. It's got these little glass knobs on them. Not opposed to this at all. We got the hollow core doors, unfortunately. Furnace. That has been updated at some point. Still probably relatively old. Then you have the two other closets here. Some good storage. Very old thermostat. And this would probably be the primary bedroom because it has the second bathroom in it. Again, the walls are a little messed up. It needs to be painted. You have a pretty decent sized closet. The window coverings probably have to go. These things are toast. That window is very bad. So is that one. Which is weird. This is almost facing like, well, I guess it's kind of east-ish. But it's so bad you can hardly even see out of it. Same thing on this side here. You can just see where all the seals just dried out. I'd say probably these two windows definitely need to be addressed. You have the original panel with one spot left over. I'm trying to read that. What does that say? $125 amps. All right, now they switched it up. The theme went to yellow and light blue. Yellow toilet. You could probably get a retrofit credit on that still. One tiny little thing of a sink, and then yellow in the kitchen. Sorry, the shower. You got these cool things again. And then another window that's hosed. That's actually frosted. That's a privacy window because we're in the bathroom, so could probably get away with that. Okay, bedroom 2. Again, the beautiful original hardwood floors all the way throughout. You just need to refinish all this. This is on the northwest side, so that window's in pretty good shape, actually. These windows, not so much. Again, all of them are not really. And when they replaced all these, they didn't bring them up to code either because the egress is not right. When we did our windows, we had to make some of them a lot bigger so that they were up to code for egress. Decent closet. All of the smoke detector batteries need to be replaced, as you can tell. And then the third bedroom, it's probably the smallest bedroom, but it's still a pretty good size. It's a little longer than it is narrow, maybe 14 feet by 10 or 12. And those are just bookshelves. This is furniture. That's not built in or anything like that. And then this window, pretty decent shape. Yeah, no problems here. This window is just fine. And these are all Posey, of course. That's the same window I put in my house, Posey. These are not that old. And so many of them are failing already. It's just like, God, And that's a company that's out of business now. You can't even get anybody hardly to work on them. Okay, now let's go look at the fun stuff in the back. Again, just good, typical Stamm kind of feeling house. I like it, you know. It's got a good vibe to it. You know, I love these houses. And everything is familiar. We're on a full crawl space here too, by the way. I'll show you the magic of that in a minute. Kind of a smallish covered back deck here. It's not huge, but you know, you could put a table here and you got great views. You can see all of the mountains basically. There's no landscaping back here except for some junipers. It looks like there probably was a pondy or a pinon or something there that they cut down. Here's another view of the exterior stucco. You know, it's painted. It definitely is going to need some attention. I didn't notice. Oh, son of a bitch! There is a garage. So maybe it was a 2-car garage and they took one of them. All right. Well, this just made things a lot better. Huh. I did not see this on my first go round. Very interesting. So this is a whole nother space, man, that you could finish this off. This is a slab here, though. It's not over, of course, the crawl space. So this is definitely a good extension here where you got kind of a work table set up. But if you could squeeze in a kitchenette and a bathroom back in that little part, there's that original window that I showed you before. Take that out, put in some French doors or something else that's gonna let some light in here, and you've got your casita right here. That. I got a safe built in here. Huh. I'll be. All right, let's move on. Let's get the key for that later. So the neighbors have big backyards too. There's EJ Martinez right over there. That's part of your back wall neighbor, I think, where the parking lot is. Okay, take it back. Maybe the property line is closer in. I thought it was that bigger fence, but I don't think it is now that I'm looking at it. So here's another little crappy wire fence. And there is some sort of a weird easement going through here. That bigger fence is the EJ property. So I wonder if it's possible for people to walk their dogs and stuff through here. That might have been what you were seeing on the overhead. Because also there's I guess I do see a little bit of a trail right down over there. So people are walking around that property. And there's only 10,000 dogs allowed. So you might want to take that into consideration. It can get kind of loud if all 10,000 of them show up at the same time. Well, look at that. So there's a little gate back here. The question mark is, who's allowed to access all this? When I drive out, I'm gonna look if this is just a utility easement, and if it goes all the way out to San Mateo or not. Okay, so then getting some mixed messages here. It's 10,000 dogs allowed, and down there it says 4,999 dogs allowed. I just don't think that they've updated the rules. 4,009 dogs allowed. Okay, so anyway, this is fully fenced. It doesn't look great, but it is. Now this has a double fence here. And then these neighbors went so far as to put in a walkway that came all the way down here, and then a fence to access. That's just probably a neighborhood walking trail, and there's an arroyo right on the other side of that. So it's all basically a utility easement that people are using to just hike around and walk their dogs. You could easily build a whole nother structure back here. It's a 0.77 acre lot. And you could go 2 stories too. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. So they did those little walking path deals. That's kind of nice. 2 giant dead things here. This is on city water, right? It must be. So that looks like an old elm or something that died. And another elm that died. Okay, you got your gas meter over here on this side. Potentially access to a crawl space. No, maybe not. That's just sitting there on the ground. I'm seeing some old footers here. Look at that. I wonder if there was like a deck or something off the back of this thing. Huh. All right, I'm gonna go down into this scary place. So this is your tumbleweed collection center and your crawl space, which is pretty damn big. So they've got it sandbagged on that side. Definitely has some signs of prior moisture. This is kind of wild. I've never seen a crawl space like this. It's just not quite a basement, but it's more than a crawl space. But you definitely got access to the whole house. I don't know what that is. Not sure I want to find out either. Got a couple of signs of ductwork, which all looks wrapped. There's 0 insulation in the floor, which is exactly how our house was when we bought it. See all that? Nothing. No insulation at all. Crazy. Quick glance, everything looks pretty decent down here. You would be able to do whatever kind of upgrades you needed from here. Not too bad. You could even think about moving all the mechanical stuff down here. Furnace, hot water heater. All right. It's a price tag, you know, it's got a 5 in front of it. It's really hard to find anything in this neighborhood, in this area, or in this part of town for under $600,000. And it's downright livable as is. You could literally just move in here. Huh. Just a little strange though that they went to town on that countertop. Sticks way out. So I guess this could be like your formal dining room, but then you also have another dining room. Maybe this ends up being an office, and then you have this extra space here. Because then you have this whole other dining room, the OG. That is pretty cool. That is badass. That definitely needs to stay. That reminds me of something that would be found in your old house. All right, I think my time is almost up. People are hound dogging me. There was a guy that pulled up right when I got here. Now there's another car here. But you know, it's gonna need some elbow grease. But it's a great location, big lot, lots of potential here. Don't think it's gonna go for much less than asking price. All right, that's my 2 cents. Another window there, they failed to kind of finish that off. Got your pocket door. All right, I'm checking out.